And welcome back to the Coaches Show at Broadway 5050. I can hear the echo on the speaker, so I'm a little delayed right now. My apologies.
You're
I
good.
hate that. But we're here with head coach Kinne from UIW football. And first things first, there's been a lot of Halloween happenings going on. One of those being with your son recently. You brought him into the squad, and he was the guy handing out the candy.
Yeah, we brought all the coaches' kids up to the facility and let them hand out candy. And then whenever that was, a couple nights ago when we had Halloween, I got to do some trick-or-treating with both my boys, and then got to hand out some Halloween candy as well, which was always fun.
What was the best costume out of the kids at that on Sunday when y'all were passing out candy to the players?
I liked Cooper, my son. He was a dragon. Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Did you dress up for Halloween at all, or no?
I didn't have time. I thought they were going to get me something, but no luck.
What was the best Halloween costume you ever worn?
I was Batman one year. I'm a big Batman guy, so Batman was good.
That's good. That's
Very
good.
nice.
Favorite candy?
I like Smarties.
Okay.
Those are good. It's
Yeah, I
like a
like Smarties.
classic goodie,
Yeah.
I didn't get any this year.
Not
a
a
whole
big.
bag of
I will say I'm not a big Smarties person, but I am a big chocolate person. So I've been having a lot of Twix lately. I don't know about you. Favorite chocolate?
Probably Reese's.
Fair enough.
I've had both a lot of Reese's and Twix, and I don't handle the sugar high very well. It's
Yeah,
like
you
I'm
gotta-
like a little
you gotta
kid.
get the
I
bite
crash.
size and
yeah.
just
Not the
one or
pieces.
two pieces. That's
yeah.
it.
Not the
Not the
pieces.
pieces,
Okay.
no.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, we'll get into some football talk. Y'all come off another big win there against Texas A&M Commerce, beating them 35-7 on their home field. Big conference win, but it wasn't the offense as it has been in the first part of the year. It was the defense doing most of the work, starting off early and often. What was it about the defense in that one to get y'all that win?
Yeah, I think we talked all week about this kind of being the defense's coming out party. They had a high-powered offense, almost averaging 40 points a game coming into it, and I thought we did a really good job from all aspects. I thought the scheme was really good, the plan was really good, and I thought our players came out and performed at a really high level. And I thought we dominated the trenches on both sides, but I thought the defensive line really got after the quarterback, and that was a big difference.
When you talk about a coming out party, is there a chip on the defensive shoulder because y'all are known as this high power offense that oftentimes the defense just gets overlooked?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think our guys, they just come out and play hard every week, and we've been playing really well on defense all year. Sometimes teams has scored late, but besides that, really, I think our defense has played really, really well all year.
Talk about that defensive line. Steven Parker, 1.5 sacks a season high. What is it about the defensive line? Y'all are so deep at that position. What makes it so difficult for these offenses to just game plan for just a wide range of attacks from Coach Patke?
Yeah, first of all, they're really athletic. We have great size in there. That was the thing I've talked about over and over is when I got this job is we had to beef up the D-line and get more depth, get more size, because when you're able to rotate those guys, every time the offense rotates, they sub in personnels, we're subbing our defensive line in as well. So I think those guys are fresh. We've got a bunch of really athletic guys. You talked about Steven Parker. You got Chris Whitaker. You got Sam Latham and Zach McKinney on the outside, Miles Adams. We got all kinds of great players, great size, and then interior, those guys have been playing really well. OCP and Cam Preston and Royce Wellington, and the list goes on and on. We got a bunch of really good players, and that's usually when I talk to the head coach before the game is the first thing the head coach says is, man, obviously they talk about Lindsey, and then they talk about the D-line.
Mm-hmm. Right. You're also secondary passing defense is 6th in the nation right now. What is it that makes it so easy for them to get to the quarterback, and why are they so good?
Yeah, I think like you talked about the back end, the secondary. We play a lot of man coverage, and when you play man coverage and that quarterback, no one's open, and that quarterback has to pat the ball. He's got one or two pats, and then you see Stephen Parker, come and sacking him. So, it all goes together from the back end to to the linebackers to the D line. They all work together, and it's been fun watching them grow. Offensively, we've hopped out, the first game and scored a lot of points, and the defense played well. But you can see them, each week really getting better and coming together as a unit. And we had a lot of new faces on the defensive side. We're on offense. We had a couple of coaches stay,
Right.
so you kind of see that the defense, really hitting their stride and probably playing their best ball of the season right now.
Right, and you guys have also had some really big turnovers in that last game against Commerce. Just right when they were about to score, Kalechi came through with the turnover, Sean Holton with the big driving grab. I mean, how big are those moments for you guys?
Yeah, they're huge. Anytime you can force turnovers, it's a momentum change for one, get points off the board. It's just a great feeling, and those guys work really hard to get those turnovers, every week, and it's a point of emphasis, and they're always talking about getting the ball, and so anytime you can get a interception or fumble recovery, it's huge for those guys and the momentum.
Kalechi's interception in particular was a 0-0 game. They're within the 10-yard line. Kalechi makes a diving grab there at the goal line. They mark it at the 1, and then the offense, who hadn't scored late into that second quarter, takes an 8-play, 99-yard drive, capped off by Lindsey Scott with 24-yard rushing touchdown. Just how big of a drive was that from taking Kalechi's interception, which could have been 7 points for the Lions, and turned it into a 14-point swing and a 7-0 lead for the Cardinals?
Yeah, it was huge, especially because we only had 5 snaps on offense the first quarter. So being able to, get that interception and turn it into points is huge. And I was fighting to try to get the ball, basically a touchback. And the referee came to me after the 99-yard drive, and he's like, see, 99 is better than 80.
It did more for the confidence of that offense to go 99 yards than just 75.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right.
Well, and we talk about that drive. Lindsey's obviously been special all year, but as of late, getting some recognition from some more mainstream media. 2011 Heisman winner RG3 been on the UIW bandwagon with just highlighting the team as a whole, as well as Lindsey as one of his Heisman contenders. So how cool is it to see some more recognition from also like FBS commentators of, hey, UIW is a team that's really good, and Lindsey could go up against anyone at the D1 level.
Yeah, I think it's huge, not only for Lindsey, but the football program, the school. I promise you, RG3 has, I think, over 2 million followers on Twitter, and he's talked about our university multiple times already. He talked about it on TV. He's tweeted about us. So it's just great recognition and for everyone involved, and it's a credit to everyone involved, and just really happy for Lindsey and the coaching staff, and it's just really cool. It really is to have someone like RG3, who's a great player and who's a really great commentator as well. I enjoy listening to him. He puts out great content on Twitter and on his social media, so he's got a bright future, in that world as well.
And talk about bright future. It's not just the throwing game of Lindsey Scott, it's also the running game. It's gotten going with Marcus Cooper. Had a career-high 3 touchdowns, wins Southland Conference Offensive Player of the Week honors. How big has the running game been as of late?
Yeah, it's been huge, and you go back and if teams are trying to take away the pass, we're going to run it. That's who we want to be. We want to be a run play action team to really set up the pass, and you got a back like Marcus Cooper and an offensive line like we do, and I believe Lindsey added 80 on the ground or something like that as well. You know, we just have a lot of weapons back there, and anytime they have to account for the quarterback in the run game, there's going to be lanes open, and then obviously everyone knows about the receivers we have on the outside, so it's kind of pick your poison, and that's what we have to do well as coaches is see what they're trying to take away. Everyone's going to have a different game plan for us, and so it's been good.
So is it more of from a FBS standpoint, is it more of a Tennessee type offense where they're more run heavy and have explosive plays through the passing game, or is the offense trying to be more like Mississippi State where it's a air raid and try and get some rushing yards?
Yeah, we're not Mississippi State at all. I would say we're closer to Tennessee. That's a team we study heavily in the off season, and there's some carryover from my time at UCF with some of the coaches and Dylan Gabriel, and so that's kind of where I really learned that offense, and so we are the wide splits, but we also do some of the air raid pass game that Tennessee doesn't use, and some of the stuff that we do with Chip. So it's kind of an offense we kind of really created. We sat in there as the offensive staff and got to work, and it's been fun so far.
I mean, it's been successful for Tennessee. It's been successful for y'all too.
No doubt.
Speaking of Mississippi State, go Dogs, Hail State. That's my undergrad alma mater there. So got to give them some street cred, right?
There you go.
But, coming back to San Antonio, you got HCU Huskies coming into town pretty soon here. So what have you guys seen from film tape, and what have you been able to take from that moving in to the next game?
Yeah, on offense, they're going to throw the ball around. They're going to, be a tempo style, and they'll present, different challenges. I think for us the key is going to be the same thing it is every week. Can our D-line disrupt the quarterback? Can they stop the run? Can they disrupt the quarterback in the pass game? And then on offense, their defense is an athletic group. They have a bunch of when you walk out there and you see these guys, they're going to look the part. They're coached well, so we'll see exactly how it turns out. But they're a good team, and they've had some quality wins, and they've played some teams tough. So we know it's the homecoming. They're going to be fired up and not that far away, and they'll be ready to go.
You're also on a winning streak at home. What is it about playing at home at Tom Benson Stadium that makes it so hard to beat you guys?
Yeah, I think for us it's our routine. It's so consistent. We do the same thing every week. And so anytime you have to go on the road, it's a little different. But I think our guys love playing in front of the home crowd. There's some magic I've figured out about the Nest. There really is. I mean, you just go back to that first game, all the crazy stuff that happened. And,
I could never forget it.
Yeah, there really is. There's some magic to playing at home here at Benson Field. So it's been really fun for me. I know our seniors being senior day, it's going to be awesome for those guys to, hopefully we have another home game, but not guaranteed. So go out there and send those seniors off on the right note.
Along with TCU, you guys are just one of the hottest football teams in Texas right now. I mean, what is it about your team that you feel makes you so dangerous?
I think it all goes back to the relationships. We're a very tight-knit group, from the coaches to the players. As coaches, I didn't hire anyone that doesn't love kids. Those guys, coach them really hard, but they love them as well. And I think our players will tell you that. We got real relationships with our players, and they play hard now. Like we went out there versus Commerce. Their team was already out on the field, and you come out for warm-ups, and they kind of start chirping at us. And I was like, that's a good sign. I was glad that happened, because if someone challenges our kids, and it's not going to be a good day for them, because our kids play hard now. They play really hard. They're physical, and they'll get after you. So I think they just play hard, and they play for each other.
Now, when we look at this game, we don't want to look too far into the future, but with a win this week, y'all would go next week on a bye and then possibly set up a matchup against Northwestern State to decide the Southland Conference title. So how do you make sure your team doesn't look too far ahead and make sure they get their business done this week against the Huskies so that when 2 weeks down the road they go to Louisiana, that conference title will be on the line?
Yeah, we're going to take it one game at a time, and like you said, I think our guys are very confident right now. They're excited about the game, homecoming, and getting a chance to play at home, and against a quality opponent. So our guys are going to come out. They're going to play hard. There's going to be no trap game or anything like that. Our guys are going to play hard, and then, like you said, I think our guys are going to be looking forward to a bye week more than anything. Kind of rest their bodies, rest their minds a little bit. Because the season is a grind for sure, and we'll give opportunity to go home if this weekend to see their family a little bit. So, but they know we got a big one coming up on Saturday before we get to all that.
Not many times, yeah.
I was going to say, do you feel like bye games disrupt the rhythm at all for teams sometimes?
I mean, I'm sure it can, but for us, we're going to use it to get our bodies healthy and to recruit as coaches. Those guys, like I said, it's been a grind. We haven't had a break in a long time, so getting their bodies right, and we'll have a couple, quick practices and run and lift. But for the most part, we'll take it off their legs, and then as coaches, it's going to be great. We're going to be able to get on the road, recruit, and get to some high schools, get to some junior colleges, and because signing day is coming up pretty quickly.
No, I know you had also just mentioned that you're trying to take it one game at a time, but I'm curious with Northwestern, if you've had a chance to, really dig in and look what it is that makes them dangerous. They're sitting at the number one, seed right now, and it's going to be probably one of the tougher teams you've come up against this whole season. And so, what do you bring to a game like that?
Yeah, I really haven't, like Commerce, like the Faulkner week. If you had asked me, I watched some Commerce, but I haven't even thought about Northwestern State at all. I know I've just seen them on film, just from common opponents, and I know their offense is pretty high powered. I know that number one, their receivers is a really good player, and they got a couple more weapons, and their OC at one point was at UIW, so you'll see some of the same pass concepts that we run. I know they're playing well, but besides that, I couldn't tell you much about them.
And it's one of those weird things that you got 2 games left on the schedule and you have yet to hit your bye. Not many times you have your bye week this late into the season, but as you mentioned, you are a little banged up and you're about to have possibly the biggest game on y'all's schedule. How big is it to have 2 weeks of preparation for that last game?
Yeah, anytime you can prepare like that, it's huge. Just go back to the first game of the season where you have all summer and you have that additional time. It's always great. And then, we'll actually have this year's film on these guys. So we'll have a great plan, and the coordinators will get in there, this week and put together a great plan for the players.
And one thing I want to go back to in this last game that y'all have done all season really well is scoring at the end of the half.
Yeah.
I mean, Marcus Cooper, it's a tied game at 7. Marcus Cooper runs in one of his 3 touchdowns with just under a minute left to take a 14-7 lead at halftime. What's the message and emphasis on closing the half out so strong? Because y'all have done it multiple games where y'all score in that last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'd like to defer to the second half, if we win the toss. So anytime you can get those points right before half and then you get the ball after halftime is always huge. But I think it's probably just, played out that way. And we're pretty much 2-minute drill at all times. So it's not something like, I don't think we've worked a 2-minute drill since I've been here maybe once or twice. But, it's, because we're 2-minute all the time. I think it's more about getting out of bounds rather than anything. So it's our guys just play well in those big moments, and the situational football I think we've been pretty good at this year. So I think it's probably just something that happens.
I was gonna ask because of y'all's up tempo, it seems like y'all are so comfortable in those 2-minute drills. Is it almost harder to work a 4-minute drill where you're trying to kill the clock versus going fast and in that hurry-up 2-minute drill type of offense?
Yeah, it can be. And I'll tell you this, we've worked more probably those 4-minute drills because of that reason. That was something that, me and Coach Leftwich talked about this offseason. That's something that maybe previous teams haven't been as good at because of that. So we want to make sure we're able to get that 4-minute. And you got guys like, Dorian Strawn that comes in. You see the extra O-lineman. He plays quite a bit. But in those 4-minute situations, go two tight ends, go broad blocking surfaces, and be able to, get that last first down that you need with those big guys up front.
Why is it that way? Is it because you're going so fast that it actually gives the defense rest time?
I think it's more just, a mentality, and we're so used to attacking, attack, and then when you kind of you're not attacking, I guess it just kind of changes your mindset, slows down. Same thing on defense. You look, the points we've given up, is when we're up by 21 points and we're kind of sitting back and not blitzing and playing zone, and that's when teams usually score. So we attack, we go fast, we practice hard, the music's blaring. So when you calm us down, sometimes that's you can get us that way.
Yeah, my next question is a little bit more behind the scenes. Just kind of take me through game day, what it's like in the locker room, the energy, the vibe. How are your guys prepping and getting ready to go out there and make things happen?
On game day, we'll have a walkthrough in the morning, and obviously have all your meals and stuff. We'll have an offensive meeting, and we'll have a team meeting, and then the guys will go in the locker room and they'll get their tapes and everything they need ready to get their bodies right for the game. But I think everyone's probably a little different. I kind of sit there and either watch a game or on my phone checking out something, score or something. But I think a lot of the guys are in there. They got the music blaring, and that was one of the big problems this week at A&M Commerce. Our speaker died.
Oh,
so
no.
we didn't have a speaker pregame, so we were rushing around trying to find a speaker. So.
Oh, man.
Gonna have to run to Walmart or something.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh,
No
man.
doubt.
Yeah, music is everything for the
no doubt.
pregame.
There's actually, Carl, you'll enjoy. There's actually some science behind the music of practice, and then when you don't have it, it's a sports science. You have to check it out.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to send us that link because I'd be interested to see that.
Yeah.
Something we talked
at least
about
you
with
guys
Chip.
still won that game, thankfully. Didn't need the music that bad, but it's always interesting just to see all the things that go on behind the scenes, and I always like to, get it from the coaches, like any other fun, interesting things happening or anything with your players going on. Every team has that one goofball. Who knows how to stir things up.
We got a lot of goofballs. But,
Cam Preston has a lot of fun, I can tell you that.
Yeah, Cam Preston. We have a lot of that. I'll tell you, on defense, no, we got some characters now. With that D-line, we talk about how physical and impressive they are. We got some characters on that D-line. So it's fun, though. That's what I like. I love those guys. And we have fun at practice, and they're tackling me after practice, and they're sprinting up. I mean, we have a lot of fun.
You can tell their just excitement of walking around campus. I'll see a couple of them, and they're messing around with each other and
playing cornhole.
Yeah.
And
it's more the subtle jabs.
Stephen Parker and Zach McKinney. If you can ever get those guys, go talk to those guys. You'll enjoy yourself.
It sounds fun. Well, just to wrap it up, is there anything that you want to say to just UIW students, alumni, anybody who wants to come out to the game this coming weekend?
Just, we love your support. We have a really special football team that needs your help. We got a big game on Saturday, homecoming, and be a great time for everyone involved. And we'll put on a show for you. We're going to put up a lot of points, and we're going to get after that quarterback, so we won't let you down.
And it's one of those funny things. You've got, in the state of Texas, you got Kyle Field, you got DKR, you got all these places, but the current home winning streak that's the longest is here in San Antonio at Benson Stadium, UIW. 10 straight road wins.
Right. If that doesn't give you enough incentive to come out, then I don't know what does, because these guys are on fire. It's going to be a really good game, great environment.
Only San Antonio football team that's playing, because UTSA's away.
Oh,
and
that's right.
probably the best team in San Antonio as well.
I love it. The magic at the Nest.
There
Exactly.
you go. There you go. So if you don't have anything else to do on a Saturday night, this is the place to be at Tom Benson Stadium. But anyway, it's going to close it out. Thank you so much, Coach Kinne, for your time, for joining us for the interview. We'll be back again next Wednesday. That's me, Katie Goodman. Sam came in on the Coaches Show. Join us here at Broadway 50/50 or just tune in. Thanks.
Thank you.